Hi YouTube, this is Ashley, Ashlock. I received a comment about a month ago or so when I talked about my combining locks. And just as a recap, I started off with 93 locks, and at my 4-month lock, I combined my locks. So in that video, I do go into detail about the different methods in which I used to combine my locks initially. I did the two-strand twist combine, the taking two locks and kind of combining them like in a way looking as if they were being sewed in combined, and also just actually using a needle and thread to sew the locks together. Over the course of time, the thread began to show at the end of some of the locks, or it's just me being how I am annoyed and I locked my hair. I don't think it was showing to the public. It was more that I was able to tell because I would look at my hair, look at the ends of my hair and start to see thread and pick away. And all of those locks now, or 99.9% of them, there may be one still in there or so, have been undone and I've crocheted them. But it took me to get to almost 2.5 years to even get the hang of the crochet method with combining my locks. So if you just want to combine, you can use what you have readily available at home, depending upon the color of your locks. I just used a basic black thread, just basic black. I think I have like some white on here, but it's a basic black thread and a basic needle, just a regular standard needle. Let me try to get this focused. Yeah, just a basic needle. So I did go ahead and thread it, and I now have no more two-headed, well, I have two-headed dragons, one in which I really like to keep. I took one out just so that I can do this video to show how I was combining my locks when I was doing the thread method. So like this is just standard thread, nothing fancy. And so here is that two-headed dragon. I'm going to be looking in the camera so that way I know that I do this right. It's just a two-headed dragon. My locks are now 3 years old, so all of this is my new growth. But when I initially had combined my locks at the root, this is what was pretty much hanging out. Or this was the hair that was here. So what I did is okay, I'm gonna try to do this. Put the locks together as tight as possible before I began threading. I want to try to have them look as neat as possible before. So, and you do start threading at the top. So wherever your hair originally begins to separate, you can start threading at that point. So I think I've locked my end already of the thread because it's just regular thread, and I just put a little knot. I will go in at the end to cut this smaller so it's not that visible, but for now I just wanted to have it shown. So I'm going to, here, this is good. Go in, just like if you pretty much know how to sew. I went like a centimeter down, go back in, go, you're like pretty much doing like a basic sewing method if you know how to sew at all. Going back down. So I'm just pretty much going in and out. So I'm going in, this right here, tighten it all the way. The end that came out, I go like a centimeter down and pull it out. And as I want to squeeze it as tight as I can because I want the lock to be squished and as uniformed into one looking lock as much as possible. Okay, so I'm going to go back in the way that I came, push it back in. Be careful not to get the thread tucked over the other side because it will show here, because right now, as you can, or you can't see, but you're not really, my thread is not visible And that's because I'm making sure that I am preventing the extra thread from getting tangled. So there is no thread overlapping on the front. It's just all on the sides, the two sides of the lock, going down a centimeter, making sure I have the thread all around. I just do this on down to the bottom, so I'm just going to go ahead, work it on down, squeeze, watch your fingers. Just keep going in and out with the thread, watching your fingers. Okay. I might keep this. I don't know. I do like the fact that I have an even two-headed dragon. I have one on my right side and one on my left side. That's kind of how I am right now. But originally I just wanted the one, but I had taken this one down so I can do a video. So when I get near the end, my two locks are not even in length. So what I do is I squeeze, and whoever has the longer of the two locks, that becomes the end point of the lock. So, okay. I get down. And the one on the bottom was a little bit longer. And I make sure I do my same method. Now when I get to the bottom, I sort of put it at an angle up to try to go ahead and seal this and end it on over here. Okay. Okay. All right. So here I have it. So I'm going to cut this thread. You may want to go in and out a couple of times just to kind of make sure you do not cut your hair when you're cutting the thread part. You want to go in and out a couple of times to reinforce the bottom of the thread, just like how you would any needle thread. Here you go. I've combined my lock. When I have all my locks down, it blends right in. You can damp it. I don't have any water with me. You can spray it with water. You can go ahead and wash it. You can just kind of do like a light palm rolling just so that it can kind of like blend all in. But here you have it. If you do not know how to do the crochet method, you have a basic needle and thread. This is how you would do it. All right. So you will see this little bump, but yeah, you want to pick a thread that's the same as your hair color, but it's combined. All right, I just wanted to do that video. This is Ashley Ashlock checking in with my combined two-headed dragon using the thread method. Peace.